Welcome back, everybody. This is a special episode of Saxon from the Vaults, the Collector's Corner, where I invite the guests, the Happy Trio or Quartet, if you're including me in that as well, to talk about some of the stuff that we collected over the years that are attributed to Saxon. We're going to talk a little bit after that around Postie's Beam, what stuff has arrived in their doorsteps, and talk about maybe some of the stuff that hasn't arrived on the doorsteps potentially over the last couple of weeks. And then we're going to touch on tour talk, and we've all been pretty busy on that front too, which is great to see that the touring bands are back and we can get out and see music, which has been brilliant. I'm not going to lie. So let's go to the Saxon memorabilia that's being collected. So Gav, if you can bring the first slide up. I think this is yours. I'm hoping this is yours.
Yeah, there's a few of mine straight out of the gate. So this is I was desperately trying to remember where I met the boys. This was Hammersmith. And the reason I know it was Hammersmith rather than Oxford, because we always talk about Oxford as well, was it's got the new bass player, Paul Johnson. That's his signature there in the middle. And Paul Quinn and Biff Byford, you can just about make out in the middle there. So they didn't do Oxford on that tour. So it was on the subsequent tour, which would have been Rock the Nations.
Yeah.
So yeah, met them out the back of Hammersmith. Met quite a few bands out there in the time. So took the 12-inch from the tour before, or the album before along. And they were great lads. They were everything you expected them to be. Completely down to earth, really nice. Biff joking away. It's great stuff. Next up.
Sorry, can I just chip in there? So Innocence was this was from Innocence is No Excuse, right?
The record, yeah.
So
signature.
But I was going to say, right.
Yeah.
So apologies, because they did tour Oxford on that.
Definitely played Oxford on the Innocence tour.
They did on the Innocence, yeah.
So just to clarify that, because our avid Saxon followers will be thinking, hang on a minute.
Yeah, different bass player though. That's why I know it was a different tour.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
They still had Dobby for Innocence, didn't they? So yeah, this was just a curiosity really. I got this quite recently. I was expecting a free patch by the sticker on the front, but it's massive. It's like this big. I should have it here.
It's iron on, Gav, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. So that's where's the patch? Look at the bloody size of it.
Yeah, you don't. That's nice there. Literally.
So that is classic. You know that. Dill, you're right. It's an iron-on T-shirt thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But it doesn't say that. It says free patch. So it undersells it, but it's quite a cool thing.
There were some odd things around that time. I know that on Breaking the Law on the Gatefold 7-inch, there was a silk Judas Priest patch with that as well. I know that's slightly
right.
Priest,
there was.
There were some odd things, weren't there, around that time? I know it's a couple. That's maybe probably is about that time, actually, isn't it? When we're Breaking the Law thing now?
81.
Yeah, so it's within a year,
80,
probably. Yeah. So, interesting.
Yeah, because that had a cool Gatefold 7-inch, didn't it?
It did, yeah. But you don't often see the silk patch that goes with it.
No, my brother had it, but still haven't got a copy of that. Stupidly didn't borrow it permanently from him like you're supposed to from brothers. So yeah, next up, this was just in case anyone was interested in seeing it. They haven't got it. I wasn't there, sadly, but this was the first ever Donington, 1980, and Saxon being low down on the bill, just got 2 pages, one an advert for the album, and one just a kind of a very small description of who they are. So it's brilliant in the context of how long ago it was. And look at the other bands, incredible.
Is that the same picture from the back of Wheels of Steel?
No. Similar. Exactly the right. It's the right era, but yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, you got the DJ Neil Kay, who's famous. Anyone know what he was famous for?
The bandwagon.
You what, Gav?
Coaching horses, wasn't it?
Carton horses.
Carton horses, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he was big on. He was a big push for Iron Maiden, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So there was another venue which is very famous, which I'm sure someone will remind us of on the comments. We hope they do. But he was the man around the time. He was really pushing heavy metal, and and clearly that's why he was DJing. Bit different from the Baby Brothers. A few years later.
It's called the Bandwagon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Bandwagon.
But no one did more than Saxon to immortalise that famous day with "And the Band's Played On," obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time Biff says it, even now, every time his songs, we spoke this about Castle Donington. But again, sorry, but that lineup, I didn't realise. You forget there were 7 bands on. I've spoken about this before. But even Touch Riot and April Rhyme were immense. Stick them with Rainbow Priest up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Love that. But the actual record, I'm sure you've got the record as well, Gav. I don't know if the other guys have got the record.
I've got it, yeah.
It's brilliant. But Touch
Who
Riot...
went on first then, Saxon or April Rhyme?
Touch even play? I can't remember.
Who went before each? Yeah, who was under the Scorpions, Saxon or April Rhyme?
That's a good question.
I think it'd be April Wine.
I don't know. That's a really good question.
I don't know.
By contrast, look at the coverage priests get in the program. Yeah. I mean, look at that. What a classic. Look, they just look so fantastic in those days. And then you got the Saxon that follows that. So yeah, nice little collectible.
Yeah, I like that.
Bloody nice program, that.
Mm.
And then another from the similar era, I guess a year later, 1981. This was when Kerrang just launched. There'd been 5, I think it was monthly when it first came out.
Biff and his dreadful kecks.
I believe.
And then
That's terrible.
Do you know what? He was wearing spandex before 1985 or 84.
Yeah, look at them there. They are.
So this is only the 5th edition of Kerrang. It was just a spin-off from Sounds, but everything had an exclamation mark at the end, and I just kept going on about it being in colour because Sounds wasn't.
Yeah.
And on the back you got the Mr. Oswald.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's classic. Yeah. Just a cool thing. 50p if you're interested.
But at the time, it was massive, wasn't it? When Kerrang came out, it was it was game changing. But
absolutely,
it really was. It did.
Pages. I mean, Jesus, and it was pure metal. Sounds, you know, loads of,
looking at that, looking at the lineup on the front, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really put it in context.
That was just they just put the band name to sell the copy.
To put that 50p in context, if you wanted to subscribe to a year of Classic Rock magazine now, which is probably the equivalent to Kerrang or probably similar readers still, that would cost you 80 of your finest English pounds now. And there are copies of that sell for £10 a pop. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, I've bought Metal Hammer recently, and it's about £5, so it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Can't believe it.
But yeah, that really helped the whole metal scene as well. It kind of chicken and the egg. Really, it really pushed the British scene as well. And you hear often.
Rather than a newspaper, it was a magazine. It was an actual magazine rather than a newspaper, which is Sounds and your NME. You could compare, couldn't you? This was an actual.
You often hear of American up and coming people that the Lars Ulrichs of this world used to go and pick it up in America and pay a fortune for it because it was an import. But they were getting both barrels of this stuff as well, which is really cool to think. And then over to you, Dill, I think.
Brilliant. Yeah, well, look, I've never met Saxon, actually. I've been quite lucky in the bands that I've met over the years, but I did pick this up a few years back off an auction site. If you look closely, you can see a couple more signatures on there as well. I think Graham Oliver and Mr. Quinn, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't really see that until.
Oh, yeah. No, you can't see it until you did that.
Yeah. So, you can't see it on the picture. But, yeah, it's brilliant. So it's an original copy of the first album, which actually is not that bad, to be fair, which is good. But it just goes in my collection with many of the bands that I've got signed, like AC/DC, Iron Maiden, Motorhead, etc. So I've got signed stuff from most of them. But yeah, that's it, Gav. Unfortunately, I've never met Saxon.
All right, okay. Most amazing thing about that first album is how they, out of the blue, straight out of the gate, get that logo. It's a brilliant logo. And that was their first album.
Yeah.
However, don't forget, they've been pounding the streets of Yorkshire, playing to also disco fans and punk fans. They started in 75, didn't they? 75, and that first record was 4 years later, 79. They had lots of time to doodle in the tour bus because they were touring constantly.
Well, it was a mate of theirs, apparently.
Yeah,
Just, I'll do your cover.
Was it? It's just immense. I'm sorry, but
PowerAge is one of the best things you'll ever see. It's just immense.
Yeah, so iconic.
So I think sorry, Gav, go on.
And then they did the trilogy of heaviness that we've spoken about before, and all of those are iconic covers as well. You know.
Yeah, they are. It looks fantastic. So
opposite direction to Maiden, if you think about it, Maiden being so illustrated, these were just
they're really simple and in your face.
Yeah,
good branding at the
very
time.
good branding. Yeah, before they knew about it.
I think we shared a few merch sheets as well. We do like a merch sheet.
One of us does.
Yeah.
So I think a couple of us like merch.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think we all do.
I love looking at merch sheets.
So I think
there's one in.
I don't dream about them.
There's a couple of things to draw out. One, how cheap everything is. And I don't mean cheap. Well, some of it's quite cheap production as well, to be fair. Look at some of that. Gav was saying just the other day on the Innocence tour, he had the lovely picture of the band on the front of his shirt. But some interesting things that used to be flogged. The studded wristbands, the patch, which the obligatory patch that would go on the back of your battle jacket. All sorts of random stuff. There's a headband, I think, there somewhere as well on one of them, from memory. So a woolen scarf as well.
It's like an Argentina scarf.
Yeah, I do a Coventry City.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So they're always good to collect.
In 1982.
If you
I remember getting that grey T-shirt of Innocence No Excuse.
Even I got that one.
Awful picture, but we all got the T-shirt, I think.
Yes. And it was a grey T-shirt. We only really bought black T-shirts. Do you not remember?
Yeah.
It was like, it's a grey one. Whoa, I'll get that.
a bit weird.
When we could have bought the Eagle one.
Night was also a grey T-shirt.
It must have been discounted or something.
Well, that was the only one left.
Yeah.
By the time they got to us. Okay. Good. Yeah. I've got the program of that. Is that my program, Gav, or is that yours?
I think we both got it. Yeah.
So
this was different to the album cover, isn't it?
An example of going twice on the same tour, I think.
Yep. Hammersmith and Oxford. So
you know,
really good.
The glory days. And this was another good tour, you know, it was another good album. Just
who was the support, Gav? Who was the support? Can you remember who the support was on that?
It was Pretty Maids.
Pretty Maids.
Right. Yeah, well done. From Germany.
Yeah.
Just looking at that, we only went back to school a week before you but all went out. Well, we all went out on the Monday night, but then you all went out on the Wednesday as well. 2 school nights, just got back after the summer holidays.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that was our final year as well.
Exactly, yeah.
I just find it amazing. Shocking parenting from my mother. I must tell her tomorrow when I speak to her. I mean, how could she allow such a Monday and Wednesday, not even a Saturday or a Friday?
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Fantastic parenting, I think I call it.
I think it is, yeah.
I found that thing again, which used to frustrate me a lot, and many people probably that are watching this that have got Hammersmith tickets from back in the day, the Saxons printed on the front. Yes. Yeah. So often they would use a book of tickets, and it would just be any old book, and they would literally just get a stamp with the band
rubber stamp on the
back of the ticket.
That fades.
But for those people that want to do it, I'm not one of those people. But for those people that want to do any framing of tickets and stuff, it doesn't help you at all. Literally on the back.
Rubbish.
But this one, that's why I was surprised when I saw it. I thought, oh, okay, they'd actually got a proper printed book. So yeah, maybe change.
And in the stalls as well. So I think we're going to have a look at Jammo's collection. Now, before I hand over to Jam to talk about this amazing collection of Saxon vinyl, you can see the obvious mistake there again, that Wheels of Steel is in the wrong position. Because that came out before Strong Arm of the Law. But over to you, Jam.
Correct. So yeah, switch those two over. Yes, just the records. But so I forgot what I was going to say now. Yes, being a record collector, as in buying and listening to. I'm not a great collector of stuff. I don't tend to hold on to. I didn't spend as much time as I should have with Gav out the back of Hammersmith. I didn't go and meet the band. I used to do other stuff, and I probably involved drinking, but there you go. I didn't have much patience. I would go off somewhere else and drink half a bottle of Bacardi before going to the gig or something. So yeah, but records, I don't often get them signed either. That's how it is. I tend to listen to them, but no, these are just my Saxon records. But oh gosh, these are my Saxon records. And I know I said earlier, There's 4 live ones. That was a box set. What's it called again? It's the box set of the Vinyl Horde. This is one of the best bargains I ever picked up. It's got those 4 live records in, and this box set, I think, if I recall at the time, I think it was like 60. It was a ridiculously low amount of money. It was like 60 quid or something. An absolute bargain. 4 brilliant live records, all double gatefolds. And just the rest, it just shows that's not all of their studio albums, but they're just brilliant. And the best one being the most recent one, in my opinion, Carp DM sees the day just at the bottom there. And a nice little Saxon. I'm never quite sure about these things. That's all strung up or something. It's called. It's a Saxon record that's redone some classics, and in some of the songs they put orchestras behind it. Crusader sounds brilliant, and I'm not going to lie, on my record player here, it just sounds top notch. So a little bit different. I'm not always a great fan of when they put an orchestra with a metal band. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't so well.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either.
No, but just if you're that big a fan, which I probably am.
So Jam,
there was some random tracks in there.
I'll pick you up on one point, Jam, as we said at the beginning of this introduction to that amazing collection of Saxon vinyl, that you're not a great collector. So for anyone watching this, just look to the left of him as you're looking at it for the million CDs and all of that vinyl. So if he's not a great collector, I'd like to see someone that is.
No, as in I purchase vinyl and CDs to listen to. I don't so much collect.
Okay. Right. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. And one of my favourite things, Gappy's going to show us now, and this is something from the dig. So I don't know if you got it with you.
Yeah, I believe it. I have got it here somewhere. Yeah, but there it is. Yeah, there's the camera.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is. I've got quite a good collection of drumsticks, but this is the only one that I've actually managed to catch when it was thrown out, and that was at Shepherd's Bush Empire in, I think it was 2015, when I went with Jammo, his brother, bizarrely, and his sister, who was stuck in the mulch, as she called it, down the front. Which was very funny to see. Well, that was absolutely brilliant gig, and I was so chuffed to get that stick. It's the only thing of Saxon that I actually own I've never bought one of their records, which is so bizarre. Apart from that Carp DM record I was telling you boys about before that I got, and it was incredibly warped, so I sent it back. I was so disgusted I didn't buy it again.
I love the fact.
Really buy it again, shouldn't I? But
yeah, you have to put no choice. I love the fact you've got that. It's so brilliant because of your history with loving drumsticks.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I haven't got any Saxon stuff, but I've seen them live loads of times now. It was absolutely brilliant live. So maybe I should invest in some more of their albums. But there you go.
Probably should. You can pick up the vinyl for pretty good. In lots of record fairs, you can pick up some of those early Saxon albums, not the later ones.
I know you can, the early ones. But the early ones, I'm not so sure. I'm a bit with Jam. The more I hear of the later stuff, I think it's so metal. It's so good.
But
they're the ones I want to go for.
Didn't you see Saxon with me? Did you see him at the Rivermead in Reading? Was that me? Didn't you go with me?
We went to the Rivermead to see Status Quo. I didn't go with you.
That's fine. That's fine. There's a random one that.
Good stuff. All right. Well, let's. Thanks, guys. That's a really good update on all of the memorabilia that us guys have collected around Saxon. We're now going to talk about Postie's been. Oh my gosh, that postman and those postmen have been busy. Jammy's already looking a little bit guilty, so we'll go to Gappy first whilst he collects his order. Gaps, what have you got?
Right, okay. Well, 2 things came today, actually, and these came all the way from Spain. This is a band I've just got into. How am I going to show? Where is it?
There you go.
Encore, they're called. Very, very good. Female fronted. The singer's actually from Britain, but the rest of the band are from Spain. So I've got two records, and one of them is a nice splatter vinyl again, which we all see. The other thing I picked up, which is probably going to be more in tour talk, but we went to see Chris Barrett's band again at the weekend, and I picked up these 2 from the support band Dame Matrona. Nice signed 12 inches here, which are both very, very good. So not so much Postie's bin, but I'm really chuffed to have got those and to have met the girls. They were very pleasant to us. Very good.
Yeah, and great to see they're not too creased, given that they may have been sat on the way.
Well, they do. There is a bit of a crease. There's a crease story actually when a certain drunk man called Mr. Jammo
Firstly, I wasn't drunk.
off the end of the escalator and decided to fall on his face and squash my records. Luckily, they didn't break, but the corners are a bit damaged.
Full disclosure, though, who would you give your records to walk up the escalator?
It was my fault. I shouldn't have given
them.
And by the way, he had that much stuff that he collected from the gig. I'm surprised he could manage those records as well. From memory. Anyway, on that bombshell, let's go to Gav. What's the Postie or secure call delivered to your house over there?
Oh, just a few things. Let me just grab this little peach.
Nice.
So that's Fear of the Dark live, shaped Picky Dick. Apparently, it's the.
What's on the B side, Gav?
You what?
What's on the B side?
Hooks in You, not the Marillion song.
So random. What on earth is it? I've never heard of it.
Very nice.
Hooks in You.
Yeah, I can't remember what album it's on. It's in the.
Yeah, it must be one of the later ones with.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So this was when they were doing the real live.
Yeah, that was 93, wasn't it, Gav? I'm guessing.
Apparently, it was 28 years ago this month. So there's two versions of this. There's what they call the misprint version, which is like a handwritten number.
Okay.
And a printed version. No, not handwritten. Stuck over the top.
Yeah.
Don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I collect maiden 12 inches, so that one's a good one to have. This I've been looking for a while. Affordable. So this is every Marillion single in like replica little sleeves. Yeah. So there is a version of this which is in a fat CD jewel case thing, which I've got, but I've wanted the one that's in the box for a while, so I've got that. And then finally, I think, picked this up, and yes, I should have had it. And this is another kind of anomaly that Christ knows why I haven't got it, but I had it on cassette, had it on CD, but never actually had the vinyl.
Really?
It just so happens that this is a.
That's my reaction. Like, what the?
This is a promo.
Very nice.
So yeah, quite happy to get that. The songs are good. I don't particularly like the production.
No, the production's poor, but the songs are good.
Yeah,
much better than people give it credit for. That album.
It's a good record. I like it.
And something I forgot to show on the other show we did recently, Crusader, in a very attractive, semi-opaque vinyl.
Yes, lovely.
So versions of those. So yeah.
Good job. Excellent. Well done.
Pièce de la Résistance. Here we go.
So here we go. This is an episode on its own. Jam, over to you.
Oh, I thought you were going next. Under the heading records we should have, and I almost thought I did have. I didn't have it. So pick that up. Sorry, here. There you go. AC/DC, Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap.
So you've actually got the later ones were just an insert. So if what you've got is looks like an original copy. Is it a Porcupine cut as well on the one?
I couldn't see because I can't see that close.
I'm guessing it is.
Yeah, I'm guessing it is. Didn't have it. Again, another record I didn't have, which again is ridiculous. But the old Kiss Alive, if you can see it there.
Classic.
Kiss Alive. Used to listen to my brother's copy all the time, and it was wrecked, but that's a really nice copy, so I was glad to stick that in the collection. A couple of other little. These were very good value for money. There's a local record store that was having a half price sale, so I picked up a couple again records that I should have and haven't got. Not as metal as my normal stuff, but that's Alan Parsons' Project, a great record, Eye in the Sky. Made in 12-inch, made in Japan, with Running Free and the like on it. I haven't got much old Maiden stuff, so that was nice. And making sure, as I always do, this one was out. When was this one out, Gappy?
Last Friday, I think.
Those Damn Crows, yeah. So that's a new release. A Welsh band, aren't they? Yes.
Yeah, from Wales, yeah.
Cracking band. Really like them. This is a really strong record. They've already done 2 strong records, so if you happen to catch
It debuted at number 3 in the official album charts.
yes, it did.
Really?
Yeah, number 3.
They played Arena as well. They played Swansea Arena, didn't they?
Yeah,
Last
they're
week.
big in Wales, but they're a cracking band. If you happen to catch them, then I'm sure they probably get played on Planet Rock. Do they, Gaps?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, at least once a day.
Really good record. So yeah, got that on release, pre-ordered, obviously from there's another Earache. Is that another
Earache? Yeah.
Earache label, really pushing them well. So yeah, quite a nice, some good music going on lately from those.
Good.
So, yeah.
So that's what you got today. Anything else between?
No, that's the last.
That's it. Right, I've got a couple of things to show you. So our first one is this. This is a re-release of a single that's like really difficult to get hold of, but it's quite
impossible to get hold of the original version for less than about 300.
Well, yes, it's nice purple vinyl. So it's limited edition. That comes out on the 2nd of March.
I've got that on order.
You've already got it then, son.
Yeah,
I actually ordered that for some dude from Glasgow. So
right, okay.
yeah, he had 2 copies, so it's cool. Nice little hype sticker too. This is an old Motley Crue single, yellow vinyl. It's quite nice, which is cool. Talking of Motley Crue, which is
what song is that one?
Yeah, you didn't say what it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Hooligan's Holiday.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good song, actually. Is that
93? That's right.
Is that a John Crosby song?
Whilst we're talking about Motley Crue, I went into my local friendly record store, independent record store, and my good friend who owns the store had put this aside for me, and we decided to do a deal, and I bought it. I purchased it. So look, it's brilliant. That's the first 5 albums, and they're all splatter as well, which is fantastic. So I'll get one out just to show you quickly, just to give you an indication of how cool it looks. There's nice inner covers on them all as well. I always have a bit of fun with the boys and send them an unboxing video for this. It was nonsense. But the inners are great, so quite like the originals. I've got all of these on first press originals as well. I think Motley Crue look great at this time, although Aerosmith did write a song. Yeah, look, there you go. That's probably the worst album, but it looks great on Splatter, doesn't it? So it's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I got that. That's pretty cool. I also, what else have I got? Oh, I got some top trumps on Gav's recommendation.
Oh, you bought them?
Amazon. Brilliant. Well, I thought we might use those at download.
Yeah, bloody right.
Keep us off the drink until 8 o'clock in the morning, at least.
It will.
There's something else to do. I also picked this up the other night, which we'll cover off in Talk in a few minutes. This is Mike Monroe's latest album, but fully signed by the band. And for any Hanoi Rocks fans looking into this, Mike Monroe and Sam Yaffa both for sign that. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. I'm absolutely chuffed with that. That's brilliant. And I don't generally, I'm not like Jam collecting CDs and Gav. They collect loads of these, but I've managed to acquire a few signed CDs more recently. And for those of you going to gigs now, just go and check out the merch stand. There's always something quite cool in terms of some signed merchandise. I've picked up loads of stuff over the last year. So I think that's probably all I want to show.
Yeah, well done. Well done, everyone. I think we all did pretty well this week.
We've done all right. So that moves us on to tour talk. Dun, dun, dun. So I'll start with Jam and Gappy. You can do this together, I suppose, because you've been to a few gigs together. So maybe start on the. I don't know which one you want to start with.
We caught. We can gloss over the first one we went to. Chris Barris and
David Somer. What, on Saturday?
No,
and go on to this week.
No, you went to Stone Broken in Oxford, didn't you first? But
didn't
you go to Temperance before that? Have you mentioned that one?
Yeah, we mentioned that on a previous one. Yeah.
Right.
We went to Stone Broken and Scarlet Rebels. Scarlet Rebels, also from Wales, another great band. They were brilliant. Stone Broken came on, did 6 songs, and they talked to the bass player, and it was going to be a song that he wanted to play all the time, but the rest of the band never wanted to, so they decided to play it for the first time that night, and the power went off. Never been at a gig where the power's gone off before, and unfortunately it never came back on. They did a couple of acoustic songs and a bit of a Q&A, and acoustic songs with no mics, so you had to be really quiet as well, otherwise you wouldn't hear it. And we were out of there by quarter to 10.
That's a shame.
It was a great shame because they were really good for the first 6 songs.
It was a decent crowd. It was at the Academy, O2 Academy in Oxford upstairs, and it holds 450, and there was a good 350, 400 there. In my opinion, it was a decent crowd.
Yeah, it was a decent crowd.
Scarlet Rebels, they kicked proper out. They were brilliant as usual. But Stone Broken, they were so good, and it was a deep cut they were going to play. And Kieran, the bassist, who was the most shy, is that the right word for a rock? He's the most shy, and they were sort of taking the mickey before it came. Then the song came out, and it rocked. The track they were playing was brilliant, and of course had brilliant bass.
That's why they didn't play it before.
Yeah, the sound of the bass, and you thought that's why the bass player wants to play this deep cut. Do you know what I mean? It was great. And then I've had power cuts, and if you recall, Gaps, we saw Five Finger Death Punch, I think, and the support band, the lights went.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that now.
So you have to, but
Mexican band, wasn't it?
A few years ago. But yeah, the lights went. They carried on playing. There was no lights, and it was like, this is a bit weird. Then the lights came back on the next couple of tracks, but for this, it went and it was gone and it stayed off, which is a real shame because Stone Broken were absolutely excellent. Yeah, as far as that's concerned. So yeah, that was Stone Broken and Scarlet Rebels. And
then on Saturday, Jammo, Gappy, and myself went to the garage.
Yeah,
I can't remember it. So, Jam, do you want to kick off?
Well, no, because as I started saying, we caught Gappy and I caught Chris Barris with Dear Matrona supporting a couple of weeks ago at the Crawford Arms, our local metal hostelry. We caught them there and really good, a cracking night. And we thought, hey, let's go to the end of the Chris Barris tour, which was it 30 dates? Was it 30 dates? I believe something like that.
24.
Was it 24 dates? A lot of dates, and as it should, it finished in London at the garage in Islington. It was a Saturday night. We thought, hey, why not? So yeah, we popped along. Great venue. I've been there before, but it's a really good venue. Decent crowd again, really decent crowd. I thought it wasn't a sellout, but it wasn't far shy, was it?
No, it was full, but not full. It was one of them. Yeah. You could get to the loo all right, but it was still full.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was a really good night.
Good. Gappy, anything you want to add on that?
Well, yeah, we're going out tomorrow night just because we can. We go to see Hayseed Dixie tomorrow night. I've never seen him before. I think you have, though, Dill. Have you seen him, Gav? I think you might have seen him as well.
No, I've got a couple of their albums. I haven't seen them.
And they're being supported by another up-and-coming female band called The Hot Dam, who people might have heard of. Got a couple of good tracks out, and I think they're releasing their debut album this year at some point.
They should be.
So that's going to be really good.
Good, excellent. So nice, busy Saturday night. I also had a great time at Chris Barris and Dear Matrona. It's a couple of things that managed to pick up, a couple of plectrums, which is brilliant. I think Jam got one as well, but he might have lost it.
I can't find mine.
He lost it. What a surprise!
If you're a gentleman, getting one for me, but I couldn't find it.
In future, I'll keep it for you. For those of you who are interested,
as well.
For those of you that are interested in Dear Matrona and you want to find a bit more out about them, I videoed the whole set, and I've never done that before. So it's 38 minutes of them playing. They're fantastic. You need to check them out. We actually met a guy outside who'd flown all the way from Reykjavik in Iceland just to come and see Dear Matrona. So they are going to be really big, in my opinion. They've got
deserve it.
They've got a mini tour around the UK planned, and some stuff coming up. So just keep an eye out for them. And they're going to the States as well to play at a festival in Austin, Texas. So I've put a couple of videos up on my Dill's Rock channel.
I'll stick a link up there.
Yeah, if you want to have a look, and they're getting loads of attention. I've had more likes, more comments, and more views of their videos than the rest of the videos I've put on all together. And by the way, that includes Taylor Hawkins' tribute show, it includes the Rolling Stones, it includes Kiss, it includes some massive acts, and they are getting so much attention. And I think that's probably because there isn't a whole pile of them on the internet at the moment, but they're going to be great. And the kids like them as well, which is brilliant. So Gav then went to a show on Sunday night, which I also frequented. Feeling a little bit worse for wear from the Saturday night. So who did we see on Sunday, Gav?
Yeah, so it was a triple header of Phil Campbell and his Bastard Sons, who are really good. live. Great band. A few Motorhead songs chucked in there, and a guest appearance this time from Michael Monroe appeared with the Bastard Sons, so that was brilliant. And then Michael Monroe and his own band came on, and got a soft spot for them, especially after the collaboration he did with Ginger Wildheart, and they played one song I think from that album, but a couple of Hanoi Rock songs as well, which were great. And the crowd were really into it. There was a bunch of girls around us that were just mad fans, and it was really, they were really infectious how much they were into it. So that was good. And then headliner came on, and being a school night, we gave them a song or two, and and then went.
We did swerve. Look, apologies, Black Star Riders. I think Scott Gorham actually did come on in the show later on. Gav, ironically, I saw some stuff on the internet on that, but look, they were okay.
I don't know why they just don't connect with me. So sorry.
Sounded all right though, didn't they? Sound was good.
Yeah,
it looked all right. And there was the guitarist from Wayward Sons, who I was texting Gappy in between to make sure that was the same person that we met at Download last year. So
indeed.
Gav, we also saw Luke from Thunder as well, didn't we?
Yeah. In the bog.
In the bog. So clearly you didn't ask for a photo because of the at the time didn't seem appropriate. A couple of things from the gig. I've already shown you the signed CD, but I also got a drumstick, which is not branded, not signed, so it's completely worthless. Apart from to me, because I know
it's been played though.
It has, and it actually hit someone in the head next to me, and somehow it managed to find its way.
I've never seen anyone move so fast as Dill. He was like a bloody ninja. And I thought he hadn't got it because he just shoved it down the back of his trousers or something.
Nobody knew, did they? It was just
they were all kind of looking for it, and I thought he's already got it.
There you go. Years of practice right there. Okay, guys. Well, that wraps up Tour Talk. That wraps up Postie's Been, and it wraps up our special edition of From the Vaults for Saxon. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Please comment, like, share. Please get involved, and we'll see you soon with further podcasts down the line.
Check us out on Facebook as well. Check out our website, and keep the information coming if you want a particular band or album or something featured. And
please comment. We need all those comments. Keep them coming.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
Brilliant. All right, guys. Take care. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios. Bye.